Norfolk's MPs, as I mentioned, are welcoming the plans to increase the capacity of the railways in the Ely area, the gateway, as I mentioned, to services in and out of our fine county of Norfolk. 5 lines converge at Ely, including the Norwich to Kings Lynn lines. Now ministers have approved a £13.1 million spend on finding ways to speed up connections. Northwest Norfolk MP James Wilde has been pressing for improvements to the Lynn service, and he joins me now on the line. Thank you, James, for coming onto the programme. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, Stephen. Good to be on.
Nice to speak to you. Can you give us a breakdown of this £13.1 million and how that's going to be spent?
Yeah, so this is to fund the next phase of the project. So it's what's called an outline business case, which essentially will be working to develop a single preferred option for the improvements around Ely, which are key to unlocking half-hourly off-peak services between Kings Lynn through Cambridge to London. So very important for my constituents. And the money essentially will fund that business case and then take it to the next phase.
I know this debate of improvements has rumbled on for years and years. Why has it taken so long, do you think, to get this far?
Well, I think there's been... the proposals have been refined over the years. Before I was elected in December, they were put on hold, and now we're back in a phase where the government wants to invest in rail services. It's an important part of unlocking growth across the country, and as I keep reminding ministers, levelling up needs to happen in Norfolk as well as the north, and getting this improvement to the bottleneck at Ely will unlock more services. It will also allow freight to move from the roads to rail, supporting growth in Felixstowe. So there's wider benefits for the region, but I've particularly been pressing the case with the Chancellor and the Rail Minister on behalf of my constituents in Kings Lynn and West Norfolk.
Now, there was a campaign, wasn't there, to get, was it Ely North Junction? Because that was a bottleneck system. Hasn't there been a campaign to get improvements there, or has that disappeared?
Yeah, so that's part of this project. This is now morphed into a wider, the Ely capacity scheme is what it's called now. So it's grown in size because of the increased predictions in passenger numbers as well as the growth in freight. So the scope of the project has increased somewhat from when it was first discussed. And it's always frustrating when these things take longer than we'd want, but this is an important next phase. We then proceed and hopefully then get to the design and consent work and then start seeing shovels go into the ground, which will be a little time off yet, but that's the way we do projects in the UK. I'd like to see them happen faster and for this scoping work to be done as quickly as possible so that we can get the real improvements that many people want to see and that I've worked with Liz Truss and the other Norfolk MPs to promote.
And the Department of Transport and Network Rail say that they're launching a public consultation. Is it September the 21st? Don't you think some people might feel that's yet another delay in getting something done?
Well, I think it's important that local people and businesses have the opportunity to give their views on these proposals, and that hopefully once that happens relatively quickly, then the work will continue. I mean, the work that Network Rail have done thus far, they put forward 3 sort of options on the table to the Department for Transport back in March, and it's now this 13 million will help develop those 3 and find the one that's going to be deliver the best value for money for the taxpayer to unlock growth, unlock housing, and support growth in Norfolk.
And that's something I was going to ask you, actually, because I was wondering if West Norfolk actually gets a say in this consultation.
Yeah, I mean, Network Rail have set out that they're going to be doing consultations across the area. I think most of them are going to be virtual due to the current situation that we're in. But certainly, yeah, my constituents will have the opportunity to have their say, as will those in southwest Norfolk and other bits of the county.
And do you think there's any prospect of going back to having a dual line all the way? Single line working was brought in as part of the deal to save the line when it was under threat for closure. So do you think there's any chance of it being dualled?
Well, we can always hope. It's not part of this proposal. And as well as this, it's important to remember that we're going to be doubling the size of the trains so that we get 8-car trains going from Cambridge to Kings Lynn, which will obviously double the capacity, and they'll be running from December this year. So that as well as the Ely decision will help unlock more capacity
We'll watch this with great interest. Thank you very much, James Wilde, for joining us on the programme. Good to talk to you. Thank you, James.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.